Hello. Good evening. Good evening. How are you guys? How is everybody doing this evening? Great to be with you guys. Great for you to join me. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, guys. Can I just see the comments and just put the screen on for me, please, guys, so I can be seeing everybody commenting. Amazing stuff, guys. It's wonderful. It's amazing to be here with you guys this evening. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for tuning in. If you could share and subscribe, let people know that I'm online. Let them know that, I'm here and I'm ready to speak. Do I have some content to share with you tonight? Some amazing content for you guys. Yeah, it's been a very powerful week. How's your week been? I've had a very amazing week, very powerful week. And, the portfolio is up in general on the whole. So, that's also very exciting times, guys. Exciting times for myself. And I'm sure for everybody else, a lot of the gems that we traded this week, they all went well. So I'm sure your portfolio is also up. I believe that as I'm speaking, ADA has actually just hit 60 cents. So that's also, I remember when we got into that, that's also something that we'd be looking to celebrate, So I'm very happy to see that you guys are making money. I'm very happy to hear that, some of you guys are learning things from, my podcast and as in when I'm coming online. Now, guys, today's topic has been laid on my heart very much for a whole week, to be honest with you. I've been studying about this whole concept of mindset versus SetMind. And, I've come across a few things that have actually led me to even be more charged up, just so I can come and share this topic with you, or how I view this topic and how important I think it is. Now, this topic of mindset versus SetMind, for me, it began when I saw a post on social media. And, this post I saw was of a young man that I knew growing up. When I say knew, he was somebody from the area. I knew about him, I knew of him. In fact, I think we've, had a few run-ins. Or I've been, wherever he was playing football and I was there at the same time and things like that. So we weren't like, friends as such growing up, but I knew the guy. But so when I saw the post, when I saw the Instagram post, straight away, that's what took my attention, because I knew the face. And I've gone to read the story, and it's quite an extraordinary story, to be honest with you. One like no other, but at the same time like many others. Now, this story was very peculiar because for me, what resonated with me was the social experiment part of this story. The part where, one young man's life has gone a certain direction and another young man's life has gone a certain direction due to the mindset and due to a set mind. Do you understand what I'm saying to you guys? Now, you may be thinking, what's all of this got to do with trading or finance? Stay with me, guys. I've got a very powerful story to share with you. Now, I want you to understand something. I need you to hear me out. When some of you guys have probably taken on trading courses online, or maybe physically you've been taught how to trade. And, when the person that was teaching how to trade, they might have showed or used a term where they say that 90% of your trading results or your profits are actually going to be based on your mindset. Now, this is a very popular term or very popular saying in the trading world. 90% of your results are based on your mindset, meaning the other 10%, meaning everything else falls under the other 10% to be able to allow you to actually maneuver through life. Now, stay with me. I've got a very important story to tell you. To begin with, I want to talk to you about the post that I saw, and I'm going to go into it. If these guys could just show you the screen, please. Now, I believe on the screen you guys will be able to see now a picture of two young gentlemen. Now, on the right-hand side, this is the gentleman that I know. Oh, sorry, actually, I believe it would be your left-hand side, because I'm looking at it the other way around. So on the left-hand side, the one that's looking up, his name is Stephen. And I know this young man. And on the other side is his friend, David. Now, I just want to start by reading what the post said itself. So, for two boys from one of the poorest crime-ridden boroughs of London, their results were a source of great pride. After all, only 25% of pupils at their school achieved 5 GCSEs grades A to C back then. So what happened to these two brilliant young minds, each with the intelligence to reach their full potential? Today, David, 25, is a successful, eloquent civil servant, a private secretary in a government department. He holds a law degree and a master's in legal and political theory from the University College London. His friend, Stephen Lasansa, meanwhile, is serving life for murder at HMP Whitemoor, a Category A prison in Cambridgeshire. He will be in his 50s before he will be even considered for release. As teenagers, they were no different, except in one very important respect: the opportunities afforded to them. Now I can begin to dive into what I'm talking about. In July 2015, Lasansa and music rapper Ternu Aguera, which some of you may know as Mover, that was his rap name. He's also, somebody I knew growing up. Then both 22 were each sentenced to life with a minimum of 30 years at the Old Bailey for the murder of Lithuanian builder Zydrunas Laurinavicius. I hope I pronounced that correctly. The 38-year-old married father was stabbed to death with a hunting knife in a street robbery in Hendon, North London, on July 3rd, 2014, as he walked to a bus stop with his father. Lansana was also convicted of robbery and conspiracy to burgle. He did not actually deliver the fatal knife wound, but was convicted for murder under the joint enterprise law. Appalled though David is by the crime, he still sees Stephen, visiting him in prison, and sends him books so he can continue his education. When we were at school together, Stephen was smart and funny, with a very strong and principled and analytical mind, says David as he tells this remarkable story for the very first time. I often wonder what might have happened if he'd gone to rugby school instead of me. He was so intelligent. I'm convinced he would have done even better than I did. Now, during his years at rugby school, David's friendship with Stephen endured, but inevitably their paths increasingly diverged. While David was at university, his friendship circle widened in one direction, while Stephen's went in another. But the area in which we grew up made it hard to avoid the influence of gang activity. I love the area, but it has a way of sucking vulnerable people in, both black and white. Turn to the left and people are dealing drugs. Turn to the right and there is unemployment. Look straight ahead and there is nothing but council estate. David grew up, go home and you are welcomed by your single parent or an otherwise dysfunctional family. David grew up on a rough estate in North Woolwich with his British-born mum. He never knew his father and his mother, and his mother later married, and he has two younger sisters, aged 15 and 14. Stephen lived near their school in Custom House, a 15-minute bus ride away. Both came from religious families. I was never involved in police trouble. My mom was very strong and worked hard to make sure I wouldn't see the benefit of joining the activity outside, says David. But I had good friends who were caught up in it all. 3 or 4 of my friends are now in prison. 2 or more have been killed. And after their GCSEs, so it says, appalled though David is left by the crime, he still sees Stephen right in prison and sends him books so he can continue. David said, I often wonder what might have happened if he'd gone to rugby school instead of me. After their GCSEs, David became a boarder at a £35,000 a year rugby public school in Warwickshire as part of a radical social experiment pioneered by an East End outreach charity working to steer vulnerable black youngsters away from crime. This is David. This is him now, currently, working in his government job, doing what he's doing, and, with his set mind. So a mind that had been reset through this radical social experiment that took place. And this is Stephen. Well, it's a mugshot of Stephen. He's actually currently serving a life sentence for murder. Now, if you guys can take that off the screen now. So I showed you guys this this story so I can lay the foundations of what I'm about to speak about. Now, coincidentally, today was also a very important day today. I was invited down to one of the charitable organizations that one of my mentors actually runs. It's called Pulse Community. And myself and Charlie were actually invited down there to speak about, cryptocurrencies and blockchain and whatnot, just, our field of expertise. Now, for me, it gave me an opportunity to actually, this gave me an opportunity to actually, sit there and look intently at Charlie and see how, the social experiment, that I'm actually, doing, that I'm involved in at the moment, called ISOF, is actually working. And I compared it to the one that David was also that David undertook, or the social experiment that he went under or went through, and what led him to where he is now. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm actually in the middle of something very powerful here. Because as I could see Charlie speaking, I remembered him when I met him years ago. He felt like his only options that he had was selling drugs just to feed his family. And as he was speaking today, I just saw a young man that lacked opportunity, that lacked exposure. And I thought to myself, wow, so this thing is really real, because not only have I shown you examples about myself and what I'm doing, I've shown you something that's completely separate to me, nothing to do with me, nothing to do with what I'm doing here. Another social experiment that's going on that also proved that exposure can turn a life of a young man or young woman, or anybody for that reason, in a completely different direction as to where they were headed before. For myself, similar things happen to me. If you go and watch my first video that I posted on here called Join the Digital Revolution, I speak about my story and how I came about to be where I am now. My mentor gave me some investment, or gave me some money, should I say, for me to be able to, do the thing that I love, which is trade cryptocurrencies. And from then on, I now, began to do more and more in the cryptocurrency space, and it became just more than, trading. And, that's why I'm in this place where I am now, to show you exactly what I'm doing, which is beyond trading crypto. It's beyond teaching how to trade cryptocurrencies. It's beyond that. This is an experiment that I'm doing that, it's not going to be overnight. The results won't be years from now. Years from now, the ultimate mission will be accomplished. And what is the ultimate mission? Resetting young minds, changing young people, taking them from a certain mindset, they've got a certain background that they're facing, and resetting their mind and showing them the young men and women that are in situations that are unfortunate, disadvantaged communities. Don't get me wrong, I'm also speaking to those that are in advantaged communities. I believe that the two can merge, the two can help each other, and I'll show you how. Now, just before I begin, I want to show you some slides of myself now and my work and what I've been doing. Like I said to you guys, I first met Charlie when he was just a young man that pretty much all he knew was drug dealing. But after spending some time with me, not only learning how to trade, listen, the trading is just a by the way thing. I'm not promising you that you're going to be rich overnight. That's not what I'm saying to you guys. What I'm saying to you is that I will teach you how to trade, give you these gems that I give out for free, and you will be able to make daily profits. You will make money to survive throughout this journey. We're on a journey, guys. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Now, yes, you will have money to survive and, pay your bills and whatnot. But the ultimate mission will be accomplished in years to come. When you're sitting on top of the next biggest corporation, when you're the biggest CEO of the biggest tech company, or the biggest healthcare company, the biggest logistics and transport company, or the biggest property developer, or whatever it is that you like to go into or you would like to go into. I'm here, I stand here as help. I stand here as a poster boy for the new generation. I stand here as a person that is offering myself. I am offering myself as a living sacrifice to say that I am prepared to put myself forward and say, okay, I have got XYZ, X amount of knowledge in this arena, and I'm willing to share this knowledge with you guys and see what this radical experiment can do. Now, this experiment has already begun. Like I said to you guys, I've been working with a few young people for a very for a good amount, or for a few years now. I'm just going to show you some slides of what I mean by exposure. Like I said to you, it's not just about teaching them how to trade. I had the opportunity to take them to events before COVID, when we could still gather and things like that. I've taken them to some events where they met some of the biggest tech giants, some of the biggest, people. You're gonna recognize a few names, when you see these pictures. Guys, if you could just show the slide. Awesome stuff. Now, you guys saw a video of an event that we went to called the Crypto Compare Digital Summit. And, in that video, you saw me with 3 young men. I believe it was Charlie, Jaden, and Roy. Roy that you guys you saw last week on the podcast, and Charlie that I'm sure you guys are very familiar with. Now, like I said to you, for me, I saw that this is more than just, this is beyond trading. This is about exposure. This is about, if I'm going to change these young people's lives, I've got to be able to reset their minds and show them the opportunities that are available and the things that are happening around them. Not only, not to just say to them, for me, it's like, why should our community just get stuck on trading? Why should we just, be consumers? We're just consumers in everything. We jump online, we sign up to a platform and go and trade, and that's all we know about the finance world. Why can't we be there where the decisions are getting made? Why can't we be the decision makers? Why can't we be leaders at the forefront of, a new digital revolution? That's how I feel. That's how I feel we should be. That's what I think we should be in our community and globally. Now, during this whole experiment, what I've come to also realize, like I said to you guys, is that a lot of these young people, all they lacked was exposure. It's not that they wanted to live a life of crime or live illegally or do these illegal things. It's that this was available to them. Society has already deemed, that they would amount to nothing because of maybe their where they've grown up, where they've come from, the schools that they've gone to, things like that. Not much is expected from them. They're not expected to go very far in life. So, society already looks at them like, these people have a certain mindset already. So they wouldn't really be classed as anything or be seen as, they're going to become anything. Do you understand what I'm saying to you guys? Now, as, all of this is happening and all of this was going on, I just said to myself that, wow, I can't actually believe that they don't know, because I could see that they don't know. They really genuinely don't know that this side of life actually exists. Now, guys, I want you to understand something. I'm going to speak about mindset and SetMind. The changing of your mindset is not an overnight thing. You can't just decide today that you want to change your mind and then the next day your mind has changed. It's like when you trying to get healthy, when you change your diet. It's the more you eat healthier food and then the healthier you get. and then you now begin to see a practical transformation happening. So you don't just eat, vegetables today, and then the next day you're or spinach like Popeye. You don't just eat spinach today and then randomly you're big and muscly. No, there's steps. Physical transformation happens over time, and that's the same thing with a mindset or resetting of the mind. So my purpose when I come online to speak to you guys is to transform you by the renewing of your mind. I'll repeat that. My purpose, the reason I'm here right now in front of you behind the screen, is to transform you by the renewing of your mind. Now that may be in, teaching you how to trade and excelling your trading skills. But for more people, or for the rest of you, for all of you, shall I say, it is beyond trading. For me, that's what I feel like it should be. It's going to have to go beyond trading. I'm not here just to teach people how to trade. It's easy to build a trading school and just charge and say, yeah, come and buy my course and buy my signals. It takes courage to sit here and say, you know what? I offer myself as a living sacrifice. I offer myself right now and say, look, guys, I am going to stand here and be the one that causes change in our community. And I ask you guys to join, let's gather, join this digital revolution, and let's push. Let's be at the forefront of this change. Do you understand what I'm saying to you guys? Now, the changing of one mind doesn't just happen by just saying it. It actually works like when a seed is planted. It begins to grow under the ground day by day. And we don't know actually what happens underneath. We don't know what's happening, underneath that ground. All we see is we see is just a seed sprout up. That's what we see. We never actually see what goes on underneath. And that's a similar thing what happens with the renewing of your mind. You start to look at things differently. It all begins with yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? As I'm working with you, as I'm talking to you people privately, in group chats with you people, with you guys, and I also speak privately in between one-to-one sessions with you guys, and there's things that I will show you, books that I would read and help you out and say, maybe your way of thinking and your outlook upon life, things like that. It's very powerful. Now, I want to show you the battle between mindset versus set mind. And this battle is very crucial in this journey called life. I don't want you to just look at yourself. I don't want you to just look at your life situations and accept them and be like, this is how it is everywhere. So, what shall I do? For example, I don't want you to just look at your local community and think, well, everybody else is selling drugs, just like Charlie used to look at everybody else around him do what they were doing and feel like this is the only option. I don't want you to feel like that. I want you to understand that there's more to this. What I'm trying to tell you is that if we really want to go far in life, we must be able to reset our mindset from time to time. So it's not that you're just going to reset your mind once and that's it, you're gone. No. Like I said, it takes time and it's not an overnight thing. It might be a thing where you're resetting your mind daily. You're constantly reminding yourself that you're striving for more in life. You're constantly reminding yourself that you are going for more in life. Do you understand what I'm saying to you guys? Can you hear me? I need to know that you guys can hear me. Please, if you guys can interact with me and let me know that, I'm on, it'll be perfect. It'll be very good for me to know that. Just so I can be seeing the comments. Yes, I'm just seeing the comments now come in. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Awesome. Okay, yes, you guys can hear me loud and clear. Can hear you. Amazing things. Now, mindset versus set mind is a very serious issue, and we have to understand it is because of this thing, that's the difference between success and failure. Mindset versus set mind is the difference between success and failure. If your mind is set to think that I don't think that's possible, or I don't think I can achieve that, then your mind is already there. Believe me, before you've even attempted to do whatever it is you want to do, you won't be able to, because your mind is already set on the fact that you're not capable or you don't think you're capable. It's like having wings. You can have wings, but if you don't believe that you can fly, you will never fly because you don't know how to flap the wings. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Is that a more practical example for you guys? We are not as little as we see ourselves, guys. We are much bigger than that. We may come from disadvantaged backgrounds. We may come from a place where there is lack of opportunity. But I want you to know that we are much bigger than that. I also have come from a place where there was not much opportunity around until opportunity came around and was placed in front of me. And I held that opportunity with both hands and I took it on and I said, I must become something. I must become somebody. I reset my mind from what I knew before and I started setting my mind onto new things, onto bigger things, and I set to my mind to things above. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Now, if you continue to focus on your current circumstances and your background, you will not be able to move forward. Set mind means concentrating on your front ground. Do not think about your background. Do not think about where you're coming from. Because the more you think about the lack of opportunity, then more of that will keep happening. Do you understand what I'm saying to you guys? So it's about you focusing and thinking about, you know what, in my future, things are glorious. In my future, things are amazing. There's this available to me, this is available to me, and I'm able to do this. If Charlie had decided that, you know, this trading thing doesn't seem like he's, you know, it's too daunting. He doesn't understand it, he doesn't get it, and he doesn't really want to know much about finance, he wouldn't be where he is today. If David, from the story that I gave you about the two young men that grew up in an estate in East London, if David had thought to himself, you know what, this scholarship that they're offering me to go to this school and this, that, and the other, this is nonsense. I can't do this. I'm not able to do this. I can't achieve anything. And don't worry about it. What would have happened? He would have just stayed in the estate where he grew up, and 9 times out of 10, I'm guessing he probably will be in the same place where his friend is right now. If not, he'll be dead. Because that's how everybody in that mindset goes. That's the road that everybody that has that mindset goes. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Only those that have reset their minds onto other things actually make it out and go another direction. Listen, a lot of things may be happening to you on the outside. And you'll be thinking to yourself, what is all of this? What is going on? Those things are there to challenge you. But I want you to know that you have a seed of dominion inside of you. You have the power to change all of that. You just need to understand how to tap into that power, how to actually go inside of yourself and reset your mind and start activating the power that's inside of you so that you can move and go forth into higher dimensions. Do you understand what I'm saying to you guys? Can you understand what I'm speaking about here? I need you guys to talk to me and let me know that you can hear me. Powerful, yes. Yes, very powerful, loud and clear. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Listen, there will be times where your emotions get hold of you and you may even cry. But I want you to know that joy is not going to come until you set your mind on joy. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You can decide right now to just break down and start crying and say, oh, things are bad, this and that is going on. But you're not going to be happy until you decide that, okay, cool, I'm done with crying now. This is it. Like, okay, I don't want to cry anymore. You have to get yourself, that's a resetting of the mind. So in the beginning, your mind was set on crying. So that's why you began to cry. But when you needed to stop crying now, what did you have to do? Tell yourself that, okay, no, you know what, maybe things are all right. And then the tears will stop, you wipe them away, and then, okay, you know what? You start looking for things don't you start looking for things to make you happy again? That's also a form of resetting your mind. So do you understand what I mean? That the resetting of the mind is something that will happen from time to time, day by day. But we need to talk about resetting your mind on a bigger aspect as a whole. Now, I'm sure you guys, you know, when we were in school, you would know about the story about David and Goliath. That's a very powerful story, that story there. It's a very powerful story about a mindset and the resetting of a mind. If you guys don't know the story, look it up. I believe the story goes in a way where David, he was about 17 years old, and everybody else, the rest of the king's army, they were up against a giant called Goliath. Excuse me. They were up against a giant called Goliath, and David had now, come with just a stone and a sling, and he believed that he can take on this giant. Do you understand what I'm saying to you guys? I want to give you a picture of a mind that was, a mind that was set onto bigger things. He had a mindset. He believed that him and his, as young as he was, and as small as he was, just him and that stone could take on the giant. Now picture myself as small as I am, I believe with this little stone, ISOF, I can take on the financial giant. I believe us gathering in this little space, call it a little space now, I believe that we can take on the financial giant. What is this little stone that we have in our pocket? This digital revolution, cryptocurrency. The cryptocurrency market cap has just reached $1 trillion this year. It has come from being a $1 billion market cap. Listen, the Forex market is in the trillions. Most markets are in the trillions. The cryptocurrency market has grown from such a little stone, grown bigger and bigger and bigger. It's now, getting bigger. It's now in the $1 trillion market cap, but that's not it. We've only just reached it. This is nothing. This is nowhere. We haven't even scratched the surface. There will be trillions and more trillions to come into the market. Now, I'm saying, let's join forces, guys. Let's come together as a people. Everybody, take your battle formations. What are you going to be in this space? You're not just going to be a crypto trader. There is much more available to you in this space. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? What do I mean by this? Listen, I'm not only speaking to those that are coming from disadvantaged backgrounds. I told you guys already. In fact, if you are coming from a place where you are a professional, you're even more perfect for this experiment that's going on right now. Let me give you a very, very good example. Let's say that you're sitting at home now, you're a doctor of science, or, you're a scientist, and, in this time, in this pandemic we're in right now, where people are researching on, what the best vaccine is, to cure this COVID-19 that's going around. We can now, listen, with your expertise, and all the research that you need, which I'm sure is going to need a lot of money, we can expose your expertise and your world to the cryptocurrency market. We can create a token. Let's call it, for example, Medito, or whatever you want to call it, We will now raise funds based on that token. This is just an idea. This is an example of what you can actually do. And I'm sure many of you watching this may not actually be aware that you can do things like this. And it doesn't cost much. It's open to everybody. We're in a space where you are allowed to create and become something for the future and help the ecosystem. So you don't just have to be a crypto trader, or you don't just have to know about finances to be involved. Like I said, I'm charging you. I'm calling you, the doctor of medical science that's watching me right now. You, the property developer that's watching me right now. You, the logistics and transport man that's watching me right now. You, the banker that knows the banking system and the banking world that's watching me right now. Get in contact with me. We can speak on things. I can tell you how we can create tokens that we would use to raise funds, raise capital, based on your field, based on what you do in your field. For example, like I was giving you about the medical science and research. You want to raise money for research, right? You want to cure COVID. We can do it through cryptocurrency. In this day and age, we can create a token, write our white paper, talk about how we want to go and change the whole ecosystem. We want to bring the medical world and the cryptocurrency world together. There are many people that would love to invest, and for them it's to help out your project. But they also benefit in a way where, for us, We would create the token, myself, my expertise is in crypto, so I would help on that end. You know the research, you know the medical world. You now go and find what it is that needs to be researched. We use the funds that were raised to go and find out what it is that needs to be done in the medical world to cure not just COVID, but many other diseases and illnesses. We would now, once we have made profits from, the vaccines or the cure or whatever it is that however it works in that world, the profits will now be poured back into the token so that the investors, the people that have bought the tokens in the beginning, can also benefit. Do you understand what I'm saying to you guys? These are opportunities. These are things that are available now. Development. We can create a token where we can now fund contracts, big projects, big building, where people can invest in the token. Money will be taken from the token to go and invest into projects, sell on the properties, put the money back into the token so that it may benefit the investors. Do you understand what I'm saying to you guys? This is exposure. I'm giving you guys exposure. I want you to understand that this is beyond trading. You don't only just have to become a cryptocurrency trader. You're not on this platform to just learn how to trade. You're on this platform for exposure to a new world, a new digital revolution, something that's happening right before your eyes. A powerful social experiment is going on right in front of you. Be part of it. I urge you to join this digital revolution. I've told you guys before, ISOF will be the largest financial youth hub in the world. There will come a time where every industry would come to ISOF to find expertise for their industry. Because of this community that we're building, because of this network that we're building, people would come here to headhunt and say, look, we need doctors in this field to come and do research. But because we are already involved and our doctors are also traders and they make money trading the cryptocurrency markets, but they are doing heavy research and funding, the tokens that we would release, and that we're bringing the worlds together. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? We're mixing those worlds together and we're making things happen, and we're going to make a change in our community. We're going to make a change in our generation. I'm urging you guys, as I speak, as I'm saying this now, you can find ways to get in contact with me straight away. I'm everywhere. There's no way that you can't get hold of me. I'm on social media. You can get my number in any of the group chats. If you are in any of these fields, let's get together. Let's start talking. The ideas, things are happening as you're watching this. Some of these things are already going on. You can just jump on, come and say, look, this is what I know. Yeah, the sharing of knowledge happens every day in this community. Nobody's bigger than the other person. Nobody's hiding information from the other person, because what we're trying to do is build something as a whole, something that's never been done before, something very powerful. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I've showed you individual examples of how it works and how it's worked previously. Now imagine 5 to 10 years from now, young people that gather together to speak on matters that are important to our generation, matters that are important to society and our community. Imagine what can come of this. I just want you to think about if a David's life can change from a £35,000 a year scholarship. What can happen to us that, we are, self-funded. I'm not asking you guys for money either. I'm not saying to you, come and give me money so I can do projects. I'm saying, look, let's sit down. Let's talk about projects. The money will always come. Money is a by the way thing. How are we going to do it? We sit down and we make a plan and we do it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And we begin to now employ and take people from a generation or from a community that they wouldn't necessarily have these opportunities before. Because we want to cause and effect change in our communities. So I'm urging you guys now, as professional as you are, don't hide that professionalism, don't hide that knowledge. Let's use it to join my world that I understand, the cryptocurrency world, and your world that you understand. Like I said, whether that's property development, whether that's medical science or medical world, whether that's like the medical or the healthcare world, or whether that's transport logistics. We could change how the tube works. We could change how TFL, how transport works in this whole world. We could go to Africa where there is no such thing as TFL and go and start investing, create a token, yeah, that we can now raise funds and go and create a TFL in Africa. Help out that continent. As that starts to benefit them and profits, money gets poured back into the token, and the profits, the price of the coin would now rise, and the investors can now benefit. Both worlds have benefited. We have caused and effected change in our community. We have reset the minds of many. We have set a mindset and a way of living. We have changed the course of people's direction, the course of their life. We've changed the direction of it. We are able to do that, guys. It just takes a resetting of your mind to begin with. That's what I'm trying here to do right now. That's what I'm online speaking to you about. I'm saying let's get together. I'm saying more of us can come together and do this. Are you with me, guys? Do you understand? Sorry, guys, that if I'm not responding to your comments, let me know that you're on. Let me know that you can hear me. I want to know that you guys are hearing me. I need to know that you guys are on. Be speaking to me, guys. Now, just like how I want to show you the importance of this resetting of the mind. That it's not only myself that believes in this. Even those that are sitting, the higher ups that are sitting in these big corporations, they also believe in this. Yes, they do. In fact, I have an example to show you. But before I do that, I want to remind you a part of the story when it said that David still sends Stephen books to read. As he's in prison now, he's sending him books. He's still trying to reset his friend's mind. Whether or not he'll be out of prison anytime soon, he is still attempting to reset his mind. Reading is very powerful, guys. It's also a very good start to the resetting of your mind. Reading is a very powerful thing. In fact, one of the most wealthiest men understands the power of reading and how, it works in resetting one's mind. If you guys could just show, there's a few quotes that I have here. There's a few quotes that I have here that I just want to show you guys. For example, there's a quote from Warren Buffett. If you guys could just show it on the screen. There's a quote from Warren Buffett. And the quote reads that, let me just begin with this one. He says that, I just sit in my office and read all day. That's Warren Buffett, guys. He just sits there and reads all day. You would think that maybe he's doing business all day long. But he said he just sits in his office and reads all day. Maybe 90% of his day is spent reading. And the other 10%, everything else falls under the other 10%. He also has another quote where he says, I insist on a lot of time being spent almost every day to just sit and think. That is very uncommon in American business. So he insists, he understands the power of sitting there and just thinking, resetting your mind. This is a billionaire speaking, guys, not my words. Yeah, you can check these quotes and see if he's really said this. The internet is free for everybody. Another quote that he said was, the most important investment you can make is in yourself. How do you invest in yourself? By what you take in. Because the investment is putting in, right? So what you take in is actually an investment into yourself. So a way of taking in things is by watching. How do we take in things? We watch and we read. What we allow to hear. Like what we allow ourselves to listen to. So all of that, guys, is important in resetting your mind. Now, this is one of the best quotes, or one of my favorite quotes, shall I say. He said, one can best prepare themselves for the economic future by investing in your own education. If you study hard and learn at a young age, you will be in the best circumstances to secure your future. Now that speaks for itself, guys. He's talking about studying hard and resetting your mind and having a certain mindset from a young age to be able to better secure your future. He also went on to say that read 500 pages like this every day. That's how knowledge works. It builds up like compound interest. All of you can do it, but I guarantee not many of you will do it. That's Warren Buffett speaking, guys. That's his take on mindset versus set mind. That's his take on understanding the finance world, or understanding, that's how he understands, you know, his way of living. That's how he understands that he got to his billions because of constantly resetting his mind, sitting there, thinking, analytically thinking, changing the way he looks at things constantly. From time to time, he's had to sit there and read 500 pages. I also read. I read a lot of books. In fact, I was reading this week based on this topic that I wanted to speak about. I had to go read one of my favorite books, which I'm happy to share with you guys if you message me and you want to know what it's about. And in this book, there's a quote that says, "Study this book of instruction continually. Meditate on it day and night so you will be sure to obey everything written in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all you do." That's a quote from this book. Another quote said, because there's a lot of lessons in this book. So after reading a chapter in this book, it said, here's the lesson. Use your worldly resources to benefit others and make friends. Then when your possessions are gone, they will welcome you to an eternal home. Guys, you may ask yourself, what am I doing here? What is my reason for being here? Why am I here? Why do I come on here to speak to you guys? I told you, one of my favorite books, an instruction from my favorite book says, use your worldly resources to benefit others and make friends. I am merely using the money that I have, I'm merely using my resources to benefit others and make friends. Do you understand? This is an instructional book that I live by, that I follow daily. I meditate upon it day and night. Just like Warren Buffett said that he does. He sits in his office daily and sits there and just read. I advise you guys to also sit there and read. Understand, start taking in information, new information. Cut out some of the stuff that you guys watch. You don't need to be on YouTube watching silly stuff. And it's not necessarily just trading. I'm not saying just go and watch videos on trading. Watch videos and things that you're interested in, things that will educate you, and constantly set your mind upon those things and be watching it constantly until your mind is transformed by the renewing of your mind. Don't transform your mind on old things and just keep transforming your mind on the things that you know. So, okay, cool. You may know how to, do this thing illegally, but you're going to now transform your mind and get better at doing illegal things. Listen, some of you guys that are watching, if you're just taking on these gems that I'm giving you guys, let's say, for example, you're a drug dealer and you're just taking on these, you're taking on these gems, you're trading, you're making money. If you go back to reinvest that money into drugs again, you have not accomplished anything, my friend. You have not accomplished anything. All you've done is become a bigger drug dealer because you're now able to buy bigger amounts of drugs because you have more money to buy drugs. That is not an accomplishment. You have just gone deeper into a life that you need to actually come out of. You need to actually reset your mind. Your mindset has just gotten stronger based on that thing. Whatever you spend your time on is going to grow. Whatever you set your mind on, you are going to keep going more and more towards it. It's the natural way of life. That's how life is. You will go down that road. You will, and however that road ends, you will find yourself there. And I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you what a life of crime leads to. But like I said, I've asked all the medical professionals, all the professionals in other aspects, in whatever aspect that it may be, to join this digital revolution. And I've showed them how they can be part of it. So it's not that necessarily they will come and be traders, but come, let's share your expertise and your knowledge and the research and the developments that you're doing, and we'll be able to fund it. Cryptocurrency can fund your field for us to better what you're doing also. This help is not just for those that are disadvantaged. This help is more for people that are advantaged so that we can help the disadvantaged. Do you understand what I'm saying to you guys? Now I need you guys to share this message. Whenever I come online, I need you guys to call your friends, your family, let them know that I'm online. When I'm here, have notes, write down on paper the things that I'm saying, these words that I'm speaking to you guys. I need you guys to be sharing it, just so we can share this message and spread the message and grow this community. The gems and all these other things are available for you guys all day long. You guys can come. Information is free. There's nothing that I charge for. I don't charge for no courses. I'm not charging for no signals. I'm happy to share all my knowledge with you guys. But I'm trying to build a much bigger thing. I'm trying to go beyond the trading. I'm trying to do a lot more than just teach you how to trade cryptocurrencies or to trade any financial markets. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. It's been special. It's been awesome. Let me just see the comments before I sign out. It's been amazing. I thank you guys for tuning in this evening. And I just want to speak to you guys and say to you and urge you to get in touch. Let's speak more. What can I do for you? How best can I serve you? How best can I help you so that we can help many others? Because only changed people change people. Only free people free people. So whether it is, you know, the bondage of a 9-to-5, or thinking that maybe you're not able to take on a project or be able to better yourself because maybe you need to work. Some of you are working 2 jobs because you need to survive, but really and truly, you've got a mind that can help many others. You don't need to be stuck in that mindset of working 2 jobs. Let's ease that mind state and start resetting it. Get you trading, make daily profits that way. So then we can now sit and talk on a bigger level playing field. Do you understand what I'm saying to you guys? Connect with me, guys. I love you all, and I just want you guys to know that, you know, we have got a very, very powerful mission ahead of us. All these videos, they're just documents. Yes, they're just documents for witnesses to say that, yes, the journey began here. This is the story. This is how it went. 5 to 10 years from now, we'll look back at these videos. Like I said, when we're sitting at the top of big corporations, when we've created all these things that I'm speaking about, and we'll think, wow, we've really come a long way. Yes, that's right. Amazing. Powerful. I love